By now, we all know your girl has a loft house, and because I have a loft house and because I've been posting my whole journey on here, I'd like to give a few tips. My name is Lynn Zabu, and this is Lynn Zab's World, where we share all the inspiration of the building, life in general, and very, very, very unscripted. If it's your first time to see me, welcome, and I hope you do subscribe. If you're my returning subscriber, thank you very much. I do appreciate you. You guys are amazing. You have turned my world around, and I appreciate that so much. So in the previous video, I posted the updates of my loft house, and you guys have been here. You've watched the process from start to where we are right now. So in today's video, allow me give you a few tips or things that you should consider before and during the construction of your loft home. First of all, what is a loft house? A loft house is something like this. Looks like this. So it is usually small houses that are meant to show a type of luxury but on a low budget in small spaces. So loft houses are mostly built or constructed when you have small space or small budget, but you still want something that looks amazing and luxurious. You get just something like this one. Anyway, so tip number one on what you should consider before building a loft house is the size of your plot. If you have a very small plot, instead of putting the normal Ugandan or the normal Nigerian setting homes, you may consider, those are examples, so add this to where you are. So if I said Uganda, Nigeria, just use it to South Africa, to where else, to the UK, to the England. But I know in England they don't usually build these small kinds of homes. So anyway, you should consider the size of your land. If it is very small, instead of putting a 2-bedroom or just a studio house, you might consider a loft house. Why? Because if you have small space and you put in a loft house, you can have basically anything that you want into your house. You can have your kitchen, a bathroom, a bedroom, or whatever that you want. And also, loft houses look best or look better in very small plots of land. If you have a big portion of land, then you may consider other options rather than a loft house. I don't know if that has helped. If it has helped, please in the comment section below, just give me a thumbs up. Just comment on what is your best idea of a loft house so far, or what people should consider. Tip number 2, consider the lighting of the house. I'm giving you tips, and these are in no particular order, so it depends on where you are at in your loft journey, and or if you're thinking about it. So consider the lighting in the house. If you look at my house during the day, like this is the natural light, this is not a ring light or whatsoever. So loft houses basically tend to have better lighting down and then a bit of darkness on top. So you might consider putting in as many windows as possible, or if you're not putting in so many windows, make sure that the windows that you're putting in are big enough to accommodate more light. Now in Africa, specifically in Uganda, I would have preferred to have a very large screen of glass, or glass frame, and put glass so that I can have enough light. But I have to put burglars because our areas are not that secure sometimes, so you need to put burglars. But some people have enough security that they don't need to put burglars. So it depends on you know, your situation. But consider lighting, because it's very, very important that you have the lightings, and it's very important that you have very good lighting during the day, especially if you're in Africa. Now, the best way you can do this is by, for example, in my own case, I put a very big window on top I mean in my bedroom, and I also put a window everywhere. Like in the small store, I put a window. In the living room, there's a window. At the kitchen, or in the kitchen, there is a window. So make sure you have enough lighting. Some people go ahead and put a light iron sheet. That is also a very good concept. But then in the night, I want total darkness to be able to sleep, so that was not an option for me, but it might be an option for my veranda. So tip number 3, consider the laws or the government laws around the area in which you want to build that house. In Uganda, if you're building a residential house, they will send a city council from, depends on which district you are, and some districts don't have this yet, but in Kampala here you have to consult KCCA, then Buganda Land Board if your land is for Buganda, sorry about that, and all those things. So consider if it is something that they will permit or give you a go ahead on or not. Some countries don't allow that, but I've seen this concept is basically very, very common in Nigeria. Nigerians, why are you on my mind? It is very, very common in the Philippines. I mean, I think most of the beautiful loft houses that I've seen have been from the Philippines, and yeah, basically that's it. I like their creativity. And now that you know if the government allows it or not, you need to look at your budget. Yes, looking at your budget before you start a loft house is going to help you a lot. Some people don't have budget because, you know, money is available. But for somebody who does not have money, you should look at the budget, because if you're building a studio house, in my case, my initial goal was to have a studio house, and then things escalated to where we are right now. If you want to know the story, there's so many videos right behind this one as to why we ended up here. So you might want to consider your budget. In my case, my budget was very, very small. I think I started with around 3 million. I've always mentioned that, and in USDs, I don't know how much is that. Is that 1,000 or so? I don't know. It's around 1,000 something, you know. But other people start better. If I had a better budget, I would have a better foundation. I would have a better, you know, things would be better. Most of the things that you see in my house are basically because I had a low budget, and then I had to extend or make expansions after. So make sure you consider your budget, and that will give you the size of the loft house that you're going to build. So number 5, you may also consider the design and the comfortability of what you want. So before you build a loft house, you should know why you're building that loft house. Is it for family? Is it for business? Is it for just for you to escape as you wait for your future husband, in my case? Because I was like, hey, if I build a big house, you people get it, the Africans get it, because people start fearing you when you have like, yeah. So, but that's a joke. Jokes aside, consider the size of your family and the design that you want. Why am I saying design and family in the same sentence? Because the design, the family you have will inspire the design. Whether you want a 2-bedroom loft house, a 3-bedroom loft house, or a studio loft house, like mine is a studio loft house. So Because I'm alone, I do not have any children. I have my goddaughters who come to stay with me during the holidays, and I've made a provisional bed for them. Also, because I'm alone, I can always have a bed, a couch bed. I don't know. Do you know that those couches that turn into beds in the night? Yeah, I have that option. It's just that now I have lots of other things that I'm focusing on besides that, but that is also in plan. And because most of you in my comment section on the previous video were mentioning something like that, so I'm considering it so much. So if you have a family, you might have to build a bigger loft house. If you have a small house like myself, it's also very, very different because of the design. All loft houses don't look like mine. They have different designs. We can have ones that have sloping stairs. I mean sloping, how do you call them, roofings. Some of them may have flat roofings like mine because I wanted a higher ceiling and put chandeliers in my sitting room or in my living room, but other people do it differently. And also the design will give you how much space that you need to use and where to place what and what. Okay, so now that you know all those things, you may tell me what I've left out in the comment section, because you know I always want to learn and I'm looking towards learning. Now, the other question that I usually get a lot is, how big is my plot? To be quite honest with you, that is something I want to leave out. Like, I don't like discussing. You know, even the teacher will teach you 99% and will leave just one detail for her future use or future use, whatever the case is. But I don't like discussing that. For those who know, because I've already put it in my previous videos and I don't want to repeat it again. And then other people ask me, how big is my house? To be quite honest, I would tell you that, but I've not done the measurements. I've not done the measurements, but when I do, maybe I'll put it in one of the videos when I'm giving you updates again. And then the other question that I get commonly is how much I have spent so far on my loft house. I think about 30 million shillings, but it should have been way less than that, because as you can see, this is a very small house. I've spent much or more than that since I started building it, because of all the mistakes that we've been trying to correct over and over again. So because my space was very small when they put the slab, like where the bedroom is supposed to be, was a very little tiny space that my queen bed size could not fit. So we needed to do an extension on that. I needed to do doors. I needed to change the windows and to change the doors. And when you're changing the door and the window, it means you're changing even the glasses. So the labor is like ×2. So basically, I would have spent like 21 or 22 million if it wasn't for all the corrections that I've had to do over the year. I can't tell you because I lost track. I was recording, and the last time I recorded, I was at 16 million shillings, and that's when we were just roofing. But because I got frustrated, I got frustrated, and I ended up, not recording most of the things. So now I just keep on progressing and adding and making changes and making changes. Yeah, like that. So I don't know about all those details. And to be quite honest, most people that are asking for the price, I'm sorry, but I call a spade a spade. Most people who are asking for the prices, I don't know, you ask for prices and everything, and some details really rather be left private until the person want to actually talk about it or let it out like that, not in a bad way, but I know there are parts of you that you would never post. Some of you who are asking for prices, your wives don't even know your salary. Your wives don't even know your salary, but you want me to start telling you how much my house has cost so far. So not to be disrespectful or triggered or whatever you call it, but I would like to say that, you know, some things you can't keep track 100%. Yeah, but I can tell you it has costed me some money, a lot of money, because of the mistakes that were made. The other thing you might want to consider also is the contractor or the people that are going to be building your loft house. So loft house is a very new concept, especially in Uganda. I might be the only one or two people or three people, I don't know, but I've never had anybody or seen anyone post about it or show it, but maybe they're there, but they're very, very few, because every contractor I've brought here, either for the windows or for metalworks or for the kitchen, whatever, they're always in shock, like, what is this you're building exactly? They don't understand it, which goes to show that it's a very rare concept here in Africa, especially in Uganda. So you might want to consider the contractor and also be firm on what you want, because they don't understand it. They'll try to sell to you what they do understand. So it's very important to use a contractor that you can communicate with, a contractor that listens, and a contractor you can listen to, because not all the time you're right. Sometimes you will need correction, and sometimes your contractor will need to listen to you. So it's important that you find somebody that you can easily trust and somebody you can talk to in case you feel uncomfortable with a particular concept or a particular thing that is going on. Maybe it's about the stairs, how many should they be? It's about the kitchen. So make sure you have a very good communication with the person that you're going to contract for your loft house. If you don't do that, my guy, if you don't do that, you're going to face a lot of disappointments along the way. All right? So we know all those things. I don't know, did I leave out anything? Oh yes, I think the thing I left out is consider the foundation of your loft house. So in Uganda, we have a particular way of laying the bricks. I don't know, they call it yechenya. How do you call that in English? Like, it's like this, and then the other one is horizontal. There is vertical and horizontal. So the best way to do it, if you know that you're going to have a loft house and you don't have enough material for iron bars and lots of iron bars, just make sure that your walls are strong, that they are for 6. I don't know that term. I'm not so conversant with building terms yet. But that's what I know, that it has to be strong. And please make sure that you do put in some poles, and make sure that those poles have a bit of iron bars, which will make your loft house stronger and lasts a longer time. So now that you know, what are the questions that you want to ask? If you want the number of my contractor, please leave me a comment. I'll give you the number of my contractor, because many people are asking for the number of my contractor. And yes, many people are calling him, but the thing is, most of you call him and he gives you the itineraries. Is it no, not the itineraries. How do you call that in building language? It's called where he comes and then tells you how many bricks you need, how much cement you need. What is that called? It's not itinerary. Itinerary is for traveling. Quotation. Yeah, it's called quotation. So you guys call him, then you make him move for free, and then he gets you quotations for free. Quotations it's a paid work. So please, if you call him, make sure you're going to start building like in the next maybe 1 month or 2 months. But you cannot be calling him to ask him to do a quotation for you when you're going to start building in 2026 in July. Hey, no. I think that thing is really not nice. If you know you're going to building, start saving your money. By the time you call the contractor, at least you're almost ready. You get? Yeah. So those are the things you should consider before and during your loft house journey. Mine has been interesting. It has been amazing, especially because I've been having you guys cheering me on, and I appreciate that so much. So let me know, what did I leave out? Otherwise, thank you so much for watching, and thank you so much for being a part of my world. Please turn on the notification bell so that every time I post a video, you get to see it and you get to support me. So I love you and I appreciate you. I'll see you in another one. Bye. Bye.